95% of sports bettors go broke within their first year of betting, and it's not because they can't pick winners. And the shocking truth is, most bettors are decent at finding plays that have value, but they're making one critical bankroll management mistake that is destroying their accounts. You've probably seen bettors hit massive parlays and post huge wins online, and then suddenly over the next couple months they disappear from social media. That's because they never learned the one skill that separates sharp, profitable bettors from the 95% who go bust. It's not about betting bigger when you're going hot or chasing losses when you're going cold. Those are just symptoms of the real problem. The real issue is that most bettors treat their bankroll like a casino chip instead of what it actually is: a business investment that requires strict mathematical rules. Professional bettors like Bill Krakenberger and sharp money managers follow a simple strategy that virtually guarantees long-term survival even during those brutal losing streaks. And I'm about to break down this exact system so that you can join that 5% who actually make money long term. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal the bankroll management rules that keep the pros in the game for decades. Because at OddsJam, we're committed to turning recreational bettors into profitable ones. The fatal mistake is betting a percentage of your bankroll that's way too high for your actual edge. Most bettors are risking 10%, 20%, sometimes 50% of their entire bankroll on a single bet. So in this example over here on DeAndre Swift, this probability number right here, this tells us that we have an actual 54.1% chance of winning, which placing this bet over at FanDuel would make me extremely profitable long term. But you can still experience losing streaks of 10, 15, 20 bets in a row. It's mathematically inevitable. So where the mistake is made is right here. You can see that the recommendation for my bet size is $160. But here's where so many bettors go awry. They come over here to DeAndre Swift, pull up the over 14.5 receiving yards, and they say, you know what? I want to put $500 on this play because I just have a really good feeling that Swift is going to go off. I'm finding a play that has an edge. I'm going to bet way more than what the recommended bet size is. So if you're betting 20% of your bankroll, which means you have a $2,500 bankroll and you just bet $500 on DeAndre Swift, well, if you hit a 5-game losing streak, you just lost 67% of your money. And so your account is essentially dead even if you're a winning bettor. This is why you see bettors post huge wins one week and then completely disappear the next week. They never learned that bankroll management isn't about maximizing your short-term gains. It's about surviving long enough for your edge to play out. Here's the exact system that professional bettors use. The foundation is unit sizing, or a standardized percentage of your bankroll. Most pros use 1 to 3% of their bankroll as one unit. If you want to take things conservatively, that's 1%, and if you're a little more aggressive, that's 3%. If you have a $10,000 bankroll and you're using 2% of your bankroll as one unit, that means that you're putting down $200 per play as one unit. So when you find a positive EV bet over here on OddsJam's tool, maybe anything that's above 2%, you're going to put down one unit or $200 on the Hawkinson play and the DeAndre Swift play. For higher confidence plays or plays that have a higher EV edge, you might put 1.5 units down or 2 units down per play, like over at DraftKings on this Bears first half money line. The reason that this play is so insanely good is because that you can see that sharp sports books like Pinnacle and Bookmaker and Circa and BetOnline all have this at roughly the same price. So a $100 wager over at Caesars is going to pay you out $90.91, where that same $100 wager over at DraftKings is going to pay you out $110. The key is that your unit sizing adjusts as your bankroll changes. If you win and your bankroll grows from $10,000 to $12,000, you would then adjust your unit size from $200 to $240. If you lose and your bankroll drops to $8,000, then one unit for you would be $160. This ensures that you're always betting an appropriate percentage from your current bankroll, not just some arbitrary number from weeks ago. Now here's something that most bettors never consider. You actually have two bankrolls. your monetary bankroll, and your emotional bankroll. Your emotional bankroll is the amount of money that you can lose before you start making irrational decisions. You might have $5,000 set aside for sports betting, but then if you lose $1,000 and you start to panic and make really poor emotional-based decisions, then you don't actually have a $5,000 bankroll. You have a $1,000 bankroll. You need to bet according to your emotional bankroll, not your monetary bankroll. Professional bettor Stanford Wong said that your bankroll is the amount of money that you're willing to lose before you quit gambling entirely. That's your true bankroll, and that's what you should base your unit sizes off of. If you're starting to see why bankroll management separates the winners from the losers, make sure to subscribe to the OddsJam channel. We're here showing you strategies that actually work. Let me show you the common mistakes that destroy your accounts. And the first one is the martingale system, where you're just going to double every bet after each loss. So looking at the Royals and the Guardians, if we wanted to bet this over 7.5, maybe your standard one unit is $115 to profit $100. But in this case, you've just lost your last bet. So now you would go ahead and place a $230 wager instead of your normal $115 to try to get your money back. But then that bet loses. So then you try to find the late night game between the Rockies and the Dodgers, and instead of betting again your normal $115, you've just lost now your previous two bets. So now you're going to wager $363 to try to make $300 in profit. The martingale system can absolutely wipe out your entire bankroll because, as we mentioned earlier in the video, losing streaks happen in sports betting. So if you hit a 4, 5, or 6 game losing streak with the martingale system, you're not going to have any money left to bet. Mistake 2, betting bigger when you're winning. So you should only increase your bet sizes when your bankroll has grown enough to support a larger unit, not because you feel hot. So over here, looking at the Vikings and the Bears, if you think that the Vikings are going to crush, and again, if you normally wager to win $100, all of a sudden now you're on a heater, you feel invincible, like you can't lose, and you decide to wager $750 on this play. Well, if the Vikings lose this game, your hot streak ends, and now all the profits that you accumulated throughout that hot streak just went out the window. The third mistake is chasing losses with bigger bets. So instead of maybe accepting the fact that you're going to have a losing day or a losing streak, you try to go ahead and get all this money back. We'll grab the Royals on the money line, the Marlins on the money line, and then we're definitely going to take the Dodgers on the money line. And this 3-leg parlay, we're going to load up on this bad boy and put $500 down. We're down $1,000 currently, so you know what? This is going to get us back all our profits and then some. Mistake 4 is just not adjusting your unit sizes as your bankroll increases or decreases. I always prefer to recalculate my units at the end of the month as we enter the next month. The reason being is that throughout 30 days, you're going to have some ups and downs. So you don't want to overreact day by day. Give it some time, let it rest. And then at the end of 30 days, this is where you can go back and revisit what your next plan of attack is for the next 30 days. Over here at OddsJam, you can come up to the top right-hand corner and click on Profile, then come over to Bankroll Settings. This is where you can manually input your bankroll number and then the Kelly multiplier. One of the most common and safest ways to grow your bankroll responsibly is using the Kelly criterion method. The Kelly criterion method is used by professional gamblers, hedge funds, and investment managers worldwide. The Kelly formula calculates the optimal percentage of your bankroll to bet based off of your edge, which when we're positive EV betting over here at OddsJam and using their tool, you can see we have almost a 7.5% edge on Leo Rivas, under on his player basis. Now, without getting too deep into the math, Kelly tells you exactly how much to bet to maximize your long-term growth while minimizing your risk of ruin. So in this example, it's telling me to wager $420 on this player prop based off of my bankroll and that Kelly multiplier, which is 0.25. If you want to try OddsJam 1 week for free and then save 35% off your first month after the 1 week trial ends, use code Billy35. It'll be linked in the description below. Here's the beautiful thing about OddsJam's positive EV tool. It calculates the edge for you. So when you set your parameters to go after plays that are 3% or higher, you're going to see that the edge is going to be here on the left-hand side. Your win probability, this is the fair win probability that you have to win this bet. You're going to see then the fair odds or fair price, and the probability and the fair odds, they're the same exact thing. Minus 110 spot 12 equals 52.4%. You're going to then receive a Kelly recommendation off of the bet size here. So based off of your edge and the odds that you're receiving, it's going to tell you the optimal amount that you want to wager. The key feature here is that Kelly automatically adjusts your bet sizes based off of your edge. Higher edge bets receive larger wagers, while lower edge bets get smaller wagers. This maximizes your profit while protecting your bankroll. Utilizing OddsJam software and the Kelly criterion method, taking advantage of plays that have an edge and then compounding that edge bet after bet after bet, that's how you can grow your bankroll, even if you're starting out with either $500 or $1,000. Even with proper bankroll management, you will still experience losing streaks when positive expected value betting. When you're prepared for these downswings, they don't feel like disasters. They feel like normal business operations. You stick to your system and trust that your edge will eventually reassert itself. So here's your step-by-step plan. Step 1 is determining your emotional bankroll, the money that you can afford to lose without panic. Step 2 is use 1 to 2% unit sizes if you're new to systematic betting. Step 3 would be to use OddsJam's positive expected value tool to find mathematical edges and bet 1 to 2 units per opportunity. Step 4 is to recalculate your unit sizing at the end of the month based off of your current bankroll. Step 5 is to reinvest your winnings. The best thing that you can buy with your profits is a bigger bankroll. Step 6, be patient. Sustainable growth takes time, but it's the only way to join the 5% who make money long term. It's about ensuring that you survive long enough for your edge to compound. Speaking of your edge to compound, outside of positive expected value betting, you want to make sure that you're adding arbitrage betting into your daily betting portfolio. Click this video right here that's going to walk you through arbitrage betting. Get you started with answering your frequently asked questions. How much money should you have in each sportsbook? What odds range should you go after? What market should you attack? This will be a full tutorial breaking down exactly how you should execute this strategy.